Have you ever noticed that the calmest people are often those who have no idea what happened in the world today? While millions wake up, open the news feed, and take in their daily dose of fear, anxiety, and negativity, there is another, much rarer category of people. And here's the strange part. They look much happier than those who are aware of everything. Why? Why does someone who doesn't follow crises, scandals, and breaking news live calmer, more confidently, and more productively? Science says this is not a coincidence. Let's start with a simple scenario. Imagine walking into an office. One colleague is nervously scrolling through the news. Crises, scandals, predictions of disaster. The other is calm, drinking coffee, doing his work, and has no idea that the world is in danger again. Which one will start the day better? Which one will be more focused, productive, and stable? The answer is obvious. But what's not obvious is this. The difference between them didn't begin today. It starts with what happens to the brain when we consume news daily. Fact number 1. News is a product sold through fear. A Harvard study shows negative information captures 36% more attention than neutral information. This means news media profit from keeping you anxious. The more anxious you are, the more often you return. The more often you return, the longer you stay. The longer you stay, the more money they make. That's why headlines almost always sound like the world is collapsing. And the person who doesn't watch the news avoids this funnel of fear. Fact number 2. The brain is not designed to process global problems. Our brain evolved to solve local, immediate issues, find food, stay safe, build relationships. But today, every day we face information on a scale we cannot control. Wars, disasters, global crises, crimes in distant countries. Psychologists call this threat overload. Your brain receives constant signals. Danger, danger, danger. Even if your real life is completely safe. But someone who doesn't follow the news doesn't load their mind with threats that don't affect their actual reality. Surprising statistics. A study from the University of Leuven found people who avoid the news experience 25% less anxiety and chronic stress. And when an experimental group stopped watching news for just 7 days, their happiness levels increased by 10%. 10% from simply removing daily stress. A story that explains a lot. There's an experiment. 2 groups of people watch different types of content. Group A, neutral videos, nature, science, animals. Group B, news clips, disasters, crime, political scandals. After watching, participants were asked to solve tasks requiring focus and attention. The result? Group B showed a 60% decrease in productivity. Their brain was temporarily paralyzed by anxiety. And those who don't watch the news don't experience this mental breaking. Who are these people? Those who avoid the news? Here's the interesting part. They aren't out of touch, not disconnected, and definitely not uninformed. Most of them fall into 3 categories. The conscious. They understand that the news industry is a business and choose not to feed their mind with fear. The focused. They value energy and mental clarity. They choose what they can control, their work, environment, and life. The emotionally mature. They know that if something truly important happens, they will hear about it, but not through panic-driven headlines. What happens when people stop watching the news? Within 1 to 2 weeks, changes begin. Clearer thinking, reduced irritability. A sense of control returns, sleep improves, baseless anxiety disappears, concentration becomes easier. And most importantly, the sense of reality comes back because a person begins to live in their own world, not in a world that sells fear as a commodity every day. But there's another side. Some people think, if I don't read the news, I'm not informed. But the truth is, being aware of every tragedy on the planet is not a sign of intelligence, good manners, or responsibility. It's a sign of an overloaded brain. You can stay informed without being dependent. People who don't watch the news aren't avoiding reality. They're avoiding manipulation. And the final question. So, who's smarter? Those who spend 2 hours a day scrolling news feeds, absorbing microdoses of anxiety, or those who invest those 2 hours into health, skills, relationships, or their own projects? Psychology gives a simple answer. The calmest and most productive people are those who filter out informational noise. And if you are someone who doesn't watch the news, or at least tries to reduce its influence, you're not behind the world. You simply chose to live in your own. If you enjoyed this episode, subscribe to the channel. The most interesting things are still ahead.